Hi everyone, and welcome to our trunk show today. I am so excited that you are here. We have some beautiful quilts that we have made in the red, white, and blue theme and from our Patriotic fabrics. And we have, I don't know, several that are brand new to you that you haven't seen before. But we started, well, first of all, I'm always a red, white, and blue patriotic quilt person. So to me, it doesn't matter if it's 4th of July or what year it is, what celebration we're in. I'm always up for a good red, white, and blue patriotic quilt. So, America this year of 2026, and if you've been watching any of my stuff for quite some while, I've been talking about this, that America is 250 years old, and on the 4th of July this year, the big 250-year celebration, and of course there's things happening all over the United States all year long in celebration of that. And I think you can go to a website to find out all those different things that are going on. But I'm a big historian. I'm big on quilt documentation and about future generations looking back at what we did during that time period and learning about it. So back in the 80s and 90s, the different states worked with different guilds and they documented quilts from those states. And they got a lot of history from that, and they saw different patterns of where different quilts were made. And so they could research and find out what was going on. For example, in 1976, when we had the 200-year celebration, that was when quilting really got a resurgence and started its climb upward to where we're at today. And in the beginning of all of that, with people not knowing how to quilt at all, because it had really died out since the 30s, women, there's whole generations of women in the late 40s, 50s, 60s, and then up to 1976, where very little or no quilting was done, and it was not passed down the tips and the tricks and the techniques of how to achieve all of these beautiful works of art. So quilt shops started popping up, people started teaching classes, and the classes that were taught were samplers, because in each block you got different blocks, different ideas, different shapes, and different things to learn. And throughout making those probably 12 blocks for that sampler, you could pretty much cover the majority of things that you needed to know to get started quilting. So when documentations were done for those years, all of these sampler quilts popped up everywhere. So I love that you can see even back from the Baltimore albums in Baltimore County, back 1800s, that beautiful, very symmetrical work in those Baltimore albums and that applique. And then also in the South, something that was pretty much indicative of that was the wide, colorful sashings in a quilt. So if you see an old quilt with wide sashings in it, then most likely it is a quilt from the southern region of the United States. And there's all kinds of information of why they did it, you know, and all of that. So when I go through my teaching and teach my quilts, I try to bring out history in them as we're teaching them so that we can learn some other things and expand our mind in other areas. Now, if you are on our email list, then you got in the email this morning, the reminder email, you got, I'm going to call these little cheat sheet pages. If you are not on the email list, or for some reason you already deleted it or whatever, you can go right to our website of squareandasquare.com, and there is a banner at the top, and you can click on it and you can see it, you can download it, and all of that. And Steve, were you?
There's a link on there right now.
Okay, and Steve was able to put a link on our thread right now of what you guys are watching. So pencil and paper, because as I go through these, I'm going to give you as much information as I can. And of course, you can go to the website and get more details. I don't have a lot of sizes with me today, of exact sizes of the quilts, but if I do have, I'll try to give it to you. But of course, the website has all of that information. A lot of the quilts that you're going to see today are kitted, and you can go right to the website and get that. We've been selling the kits from what you're going to see today for about 2 weeks now, and so believe it or not, the inventory is already going down to what I call endangered. So if you see something that you want, don't delay, because like I said, some of these fabrics we've had for multiple years as we've been building up to this. So we're really down to almost threadbare on some of these. So you're going to look at, we're going to show the quilts. We're going to tell you about them. There's kits for majority of them. If there's something that I can kit with just a little bit of a change that you'll still get the same look, I'll do that and I'll tell you. So there'll be details on every one of these quilts about fabrics, where to get it, how many we, you know, all of that. Okay. Now the other thing I want to,
They can send an email on that.
oh, and if you want to send an email, if you have any questions, you can do that with Jody at squareandsquared.com. We also have our quilt text hotline that, to me, just sending a text is easier than an email. It's 817-713-2879. Now, of course, our text messages go away and we don't know who we're talking to. In an email, we can keep records. We know who we're talking to. We have documentation and all that. So if it's something that we need to keep track of, then the email's great. If it's just a quick answer for whatever, then or if I'm helping you with a quilt project, then that text line is great. And please don't be offended if we ask you if you're a Premium Club member. We try to keep your information private, and so we don't always know who we're talking to, and so for us to help you, like we're to find something in a video or whatever, we need to know, because members have access to stuff, and we want to make sure that we send the members to the members area to get their information. Okay, so it's to help you and get the information you need, but also to keep your privacy. Okay. All right, now the other thing that we have going on, we started this last week, and I think an email was sent out about the bundles of the Patriotic fabrics. So an email was sent out, I think last week, about our different bundles that we have. And we have 11 Patriotic prints that are on a special, but you have to get them in a bundle. You can get a bundle that has all 11 in them, and then I think we have 3 or 4 other bundles, I think 3 bundles, where we've grouped them into different groupings so that you don't have to buy all 11, but you can still get that special price. And the fabric pieces in those bundles, no matter which one they are, they're 4-yard pieces. Now, we have 4-yard pieces because as we go about and show you a lot of these quilts, then you need like 4 yards of like 3 pieces if you're just doing 3 fabrics in that quilt. So these are great bundles to get in there and make any of these quilts. And when you purchase the bundle, the fabric is just $10 a yard. So you're saving $4 a yard when you go in there and get those bundles. So Steve, let's look down here at the fabrics, because I'm going to move them off of our table. So these are the 11 pieces that we have in those bundles and for the special prices. So we have on, these are the eagle vines. We have the red, white, and blue. I think it's this red one that's going to go first because this is the one we have the least amount of. And then on the blue and the green, it's the green eagle flag. And I want to point out the green. When you look outside at nature, what is the #1 color that you see? It's green. It's green trees. It's green grass. If you decorate in a home, you may not have a green couch, but if you add little green plants or little artificial green things up on a shelf, it really sparks the decor. Obviously, it's what we have in creation outside. And so green, a lot of times people think, oh, light and dark, those go with everything, but green goes with everything. It's a good color to add in your quilt. And you don't have to put a ton in it just a little bit here and there, just like in a beautiful flower garden of colors. You've got some little green popping up in there, and it really sets off that garden, and it really sets off your quilt, okay? So back to our fabrics, we have these. Now, we're very limited on this blue eagle flag. The first orders that go out will fill with the blue, I'm sorry, not eagle flag, the blue flag, tone on tone. And as soon as that blue is gone, it'll be just the plain blue tattered and torn that goes in those orders. And if you have a preference on that, you can just tell us in your order. Maybe you're one of the first however many orders when we still have the flag, but you would rather have the blue tattered. Just put that in the comments or send that in an email, okay? And then on our, this is our text, and it's We the People. And I know that the blue is on special in our bundles. We also have it in the red, but I don't think the red is part of any of those bundles. And this red right here of the Celebrate is not in any of those bundles. You'll see a lot of quilts that we have out of these, and so what we have left of this we have reserved back for those kits. But this one is in with your 11 here that are in those bundles. And then we have our eagle flag. The eagle with the flag, it says 250 years on it. You can see the 1776, the 2026, the 250, the eagle with the flag, the little stripes. We've done a lot with these, and they're really fun to work with. And you'll see some of these in some of the quilts. So of course it comes in the red, the white, and the blue, and that's the eagle flag. And then this one is the Celebrate. So it says 1776, 2026, and it says Celebrate America, and then it's got the stars in the red and the navy or black or blue, whatever you want to call it. And same with that. So those are the 11, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that are on sale. You can get a bundle that has all of them, or we have, I think, 3 bundles where we've put like, I think there's 5 pieces in a bundle, and there'll be like a light, medium, dark. There's a variety of them. So that's our fabrics. Now, I also wanted to point out these two. You'll see some quilts with the red Celebrate and the red text, and then we also have the 2 checks that go really nice with all of those if you want to add another print to that. To me, checks go in every quilt, and you need a little bit of them in almost every quilt, and most of the time the checks will react as a medium, and so to have a great quilt you need that great medium. Now, some of the quilts that you see today will have a red and black check. Our red and black check has been gone for an extended length of time. We hope to get it back soon, but it's not close enough to tell anybody to wait on it. It's probably a year down the road before we get it. But this is our brand new red with black diamond dot. And any quilt that you see that we have kitted, that if you order a kit, it will not be the red and black check. It will be this red and black diamond dot. So I just wanted you guys to know all of that and to know about the fabrics. If you have any questions about the fabrics, you can just text it on there and we will help you, or you can send us an email or ask us a question on the quilt text line. Now, before we get started on showing the quilts, I want to demo a little bit of the square and a square system for those of you that are brand new, because you're going to look at these quilts, you're going to see beautiful pieces in here, and you're going to say, I really like this Eagle Mountain quilt, but look at all those triangle shapes. Triangles are difficult to do, and I maybe can do that, but I know it's going to take more time. So you look at quilts and you think about your skill and you think about your time, and that's how you decide whether you're going to make a quilt or not. And with the square and a square system, we make all of the triangle units really simple and easy to do. And the way that we look at quilts and construct them and put them together, I always say that everyone can become that piecer that they've always dreamed of. So don't let the beauty of any of these quilts make you shy away from making them, because you can make them. They're simple to do. And with the Quilt Text hotline number, anytime you have a question or need help, I'm your teacher and I'm right there ready to help you. Sometimes we get to those quilt text right away, and sometimes it might be a day or two. So give me plenty of time. And there's nothing wrong with, if you've sent me a text and it's been 2 days and I haven't answered, there's nothing wrong with just putting on that text thread, hi or hello, or I hope you saw my text, something like that. It may, you know, if it's gotten lost at the bottom of a feed or something, it'll pop it back up to the top, and then that way I can be, oh yeah, I missed that one. I need to get in there and help them, okay? Okay, so also for those of you that are brand new, this is the Square in a Square reference book. We really call this the Bible for the system. It's volume 1. It's the one that deals with everything that is a 45-degree angle, a 90-degree angle, and it's where your flying geese, your half square triangles, all of that are here in this book. So you have your options 1 through 17 in the front. The options are the different triangle units. We're going to demo, I think, 3 or 4 of those today for you, because that's really what's in every quilt. And this is how every quilt starts. Square in the middle, strips on the side. This is your basic main construction. So you're going to get all your pieces that you need, no matter what they are, and then you put them together to build your block, and then your blocks build your quilt. So this is the main construction of everything, and it helps remove so many human elements. It gives you more speed, more accuracy, more perfection. Your options are here at the front. Page 34 is where the charts start. And so if you're kind of doing your own thing, or if you're changing sizes from our patterns, then these charts are going to be in there to help you. Don't forget to go all the way through. There's about 24 pages of information in here on how to figure fabrics, how to know how many squares are in a strip, and then even what we call some we call them advanced charts, but it's not that they're harder. It's just that we're putting pieces together like a pinwheel, and showing those on the chart along with other things to help speed up your piecing of your quilt. And then you can get into the patterns. There's over 30 patterns in the book. The patterns that can be done in multiple block sizes, like this one here, goes from a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 10, and a 12, and probably the quilt itself is probably the 8-inch block. So we have over 50 different sizes of blocks where we've already done the work for you to tell you the sizes that you need of squares and strips, and even estimated fabric amounts. So this is a great book. Quite a few quilts that you're going to see today are out of this book, and I'll refer to it as the Square in a Square reference book. And if you don't have that one, that's definitely one that you need. This is the original Square in a Square ruler. This is the one that I've had for almost 40 years now. It does all of the different units. It does all of the different sizes, and we call it the original because that's what it was, the very first thing that we did. And we added a mini, which is a little bit smaller, and then we have the grande. But this is the one that you need to start with if you're just getting going. So if you have any questions, get them on there. I'm going to lay some of these pieces out, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to get these shapes. And how easy it is to work with scraps. We all have scraps that we need to use, and also the scrap quilts are just beautiful. Okay, Mr. Steve, do we have any questions?
Nope.
No, before we go. Okay, so everything we make, whether it's a square in a square, flying geese, half square triangles, we have over 50 different options now. They all start out like this or like this with the diamond. And the volume 2 book is the diamond book that goes into detail with your diamonds.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Real quick.
Do you need the other 2 rulers if you have the original? Not really. Can everything be done with the original? Yes, Donna, everything can be done with the original, and that's why we always recommend it as your first ruler, or to start with that, because you can do everything with it and you don't have to add the other ones. They just help. Like the mini one, I really like the mini, and I probably use it more than anything just because the shape of it and the size of it, I have just gotten so used to. I love it. And it has a little 4-inch corner square in the corner that I use constantly, and so therefore I don't have to have another ruler on my table, or I don't have to purchase another ruler, I don't have to find another ruler, all of that. The Grande is bigger. It does the square shapes, so options 1 through 17. It helps you cut this center diamond piece. Sometimes people struggle with actually cutting the diamond. You can do it with the original. You can do it with some other ruler that you might have on your sewing table, but we made the Grande ruler specifically for that, and then we added other things to it because I don't like to make a tool that only does one thing. I always said in the beginning, back in the 80s, I was like, if I can't make a ruler that will do everything except load the dishwasher and put supper on the table, then I don't want to make it, because I don't like having 10 million rulers on my table. I don't want 10 million rulers in my warehouse and have to market them and ship them and inventory them. And I know you guys don't need all that chaos on your table. You don't need to learn all those different things. Learn one ruler. It makes everything. Just go to town with it, having fun. You'll be great. Okay. Oh, also on the Grande ruler, you can go right to the website, and there's a video on there. Whether you go to the .com website, squareandasquare.com is where all the products are, and then squareandasquare.net is where all of the videos are. So this video will go into that .net. So if you learn how to go in and navigate squareandasquare.net, to me it's easier than going back to YouTube or going back to Facebook or going back to wherever, where there's so much chaos in there. It's like, okay, where is that video? I want to watch it again. Just go to squareandasquare.net, turn it on, project them up on your TV, and just watch quilting videos as long as your little heart desires. Okay, so, all right, everything we do starts out with this square in the middle, strips on the side. Of course, colors change, size change, but everything starts out just like this. And so I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to go over here where the 90 is. So let me show you right here on the ruler. Let's look down here. Okay, so here's the 90. And this first set of lines right here, they touch right there, that tip. And this is where all of the action is right here. So, you know, I've seen people put sticky stuff on their rulers, and sometimes they put them right there. Don't do it, because that's where you need to watch most all of the time, is right here with whatever angle it is that you're working with. So the first one comes together and they touch, and that's what makes this a 90. The 90 is that arc that's right inside here. And then when you look, there's 1, 2, 3 lines on each side, and we call those the ripple lines, because this is like a rock, you know, like you throw a rock in a pond and then you get all those little ripples that come out. So these are echoes, like echo quilting or ripples that come off of the 90. And see where they fall off at the end of the page? Since they're not touching another line, then these are actually 45s. Then from the tip of the 90 to the edge of the ruler, that is 1/4 of an inch, and that is our seam allowance. When we put the 90 right in the tip and trim it up, you can see how we have that perfect 1/4 of an inch seam allowance right there off of the tip. So I'm going to, and of course I'm right-handed, so I'm working with it on the right. If you're left-handed, just turn it and do the same thing, and it does the same thing. So here's my 90, and I push it, put it in the square, and I'm going to push it to that corner. So the tip of that 90 is going to go right there to the tip of the center square. This is the center square, and these are what we call surround strips, because they're strips that are surrounding the square. How about that? So right in the tip, The black lines go right over the seam, and your grid line should go right through the point. Now, if you're sewing, it's got a little humanness going on in there, and if all of these don't line up the way you want, then don't start with that one. You've got 3 others. So pick the best one, put your best foot forward, and start with it, because once you get this cut, we've got to keep it square on the other 3 sides as we go around, okay? Hand flat, no spiders. This makes the ruler wiggle. Hand flat, the weight will be at the palm of your hand, and your fingers are just on here lightly, okay? Make your cut and turn and just keep going around. And we're going to trim, leaving the 1/4 of an inch like this on all 4 corners. And we're also going to check over here where we already cut to make sure that the fabric underneath is staying parallel with the lines on the ruler. Now these can change, so it's not always going to, these are 1/2 inch lines, so it's not always going to line up exactly on a line. But you can look at the fabric under and look at the lines on top, and you can tell, does this look neat and even, or does it look chaotic? See, that's chaotic. It's not parallel. This is real close, that's far away. So once you start making your very first cut like we did, you put it in here, line it up, and then look over here. If it looks good, go. If it doesn't look good, then adjust your ruler just a little bit wherever so that this is parallel. This and your seam allowance are the 2 most important things. These in here are secondary. I always say this is yesterday. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is try to improve upon it. And you're going to improve upon it by keeping it square as you go. And you're going to always, always going to have that nice 1/4 of an inch. Don't worry if you're slightly blunted. In fact, when you look at your pictures in the quilt, they're going to be slightly blunted. Now, if they're too blunted, of course, that's going to be a problem, but slight is okay. All right, so there's your option 1. When you come in and sew a 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides, then you have that sewn size of an option 1, and this is cut because it has a cut edge or a raw edge. Now with each option, they build on each other. We're going to take what we've learned and we're going to add another thing to it. So this one here, for an option 2, you can sew wider strips on it because, see, this square, let's just guess and say it was 4, and these were 2 1/4. Now your square is this big, so your strips have to get wider as you go around, and that's your option 2. So you can see how we started with our square in the middle. Look at our red and white from our eagle vine, and we trimmed leaving a 1/4 of an inch, and when we went in and put strips around it again, see, we get our nice point. We trim leaving the 1/4 just like we did, and this you can just keep sewing around 2 times or more, and that's your option 2. Now our option 3, we're going to learn a new thing. So for our option 3, this is one that's already trimmed up. Let's look at these trims. Here's your 1/4 of an inch here and here, just like we had here on all 4. But because we're going to cut it in half, you can see 2 flying geese right here where we've cut it in half. We have to change these corners because we're going to put a seam right here. So we have to create a seam or make a cut, create a seam, move these points so that when we cut it in half and get this sewn into our quilt, all of our points will be right where they need to be. Now obviously you can sew you can see how you put your 1/4 of an inch seam here, and there's your point. But when you sew a 1/4 of an inch here and a 1/4 of an inch here, right there, where that little string is, right there will be your point. So that means we have to trim these sharp or close, or what we call a 2-step. So when we do our 2-step, we're going to put our 90 in there just like we did, and we're going to step 1, 2. That's why we call it the 2-step, because you're going to slide your ruler over 1, 2, and the end or the tip of this line where it falls off of the ruler, that's what's going to go right in that point. So I'm just going to recycle this little sample that I have right here. So this is already trimmed to 1/4. already trimmed a fourth just like we have here. And now on the two opposite sides here and here, we're going to make it sharp. So see, there's the 90, and see how that would leave the fourth of an inch. But we're going to two-step, 1, 2, and put the tip right in the tip of that square, line right down the seam. You won't have one over here, but you can look at your seam and look at the lines, and you can tell if they're nice and parallel, just like we do here on the outside. And when you go back to that tip in the corner, see how you have a new grid line that goes through that point to help keep both of these flying geese balanced. So basically, it looks like you're cutting off a fourth of an inch, and actually you are, but you're creating a seam and moving a point. So now we're going to switch it to the other side and repeat. Now, I did the right side on this one. It doesn't matter. You can use the right or left. Because this is a little easier to see because of the color of the fabric, I'm going to jump over here and do the left. There's 1, 2. And you can see how I have a grid line that goes right through that corner. Check your outside edges. Make sure you're staying as square as possible. Make your cut. And then that's where you're going to slice it in half. So I just put the edge of my ruler right through those sharp points, cut it in half, and there I have 2 perfect flying geese. So there's your fourth of an inch, here's your fourth of an inch, and there's your point when you get those sewn. Now we know that flying geese are in almost every quilt that you make, and probably the flying geese are probably the most popular thing of the ruler for the past 40 years. Everyone's just like, wow, smooth, flat, nice sharp points. Everything is exactly the way that it should be. Okay, and that's option 3, flying geese. Now, the option 4 here, let's just, I'll bring it down. Okay, so for our option 4, which is half square triangles, we're cutting through both points. So see, on our flying geese, we were cutting through 2 opposite points. But on this one, we're going to cut both directions. So since we're cutting through these points, that should tell you that all 4 of these corners have to be a 2-step. Just like on our flying geese, those were a 2-step because that's where we were cutting. So we're going to 2-step all 4 corners. And I've already explained how to put that in the corner. So we're just going to move quickly. So the 90 goes in, you 2-step it over, you check your outside, make sure it's staying nice and neat. And because we have 2-stepped all of these corners, we know that we can cut through here like this and like this. And I'll do that here in just a minute. But some of the options, like option 10, option 14, you keep it as a whole piece, whatever the trim is, sew around it again and trim, and you get different triangle shapes. And that's how we go all the way up to option 17 with the square. So be careful that it doesn't wiggle or move on you. I like to use any lines that I can to help keep things square. I cut both directions, and don't blink. Here we go. 4 perfect half square triangles. No papers to peel, no grids to draw, no dog ears to trim off. Everything just the way that it's supposed to be. And after almost 40 years sitting here and demoing this with you guys, I hope you still feel and see the excitement that I have for it. And obviously I wouldn't still be making quilts this way, and I wouldn't have thousands and thousands of students over the years that make quilts this way. So obviously you're going to move quickly, you're going to have great units, and great units result in beautiful, great quilts. Also in the squareandasquare.net website, the teaching website, there are videos called the option overview. And the option overview is basically what I've done here, but more depth. And we're going to go into sewing the basic square, so how to get started with this, tips and hints that you need. everything you need to know about option 1 and see quilts where you use option 1 so that your brain can start feasting on that and realizing the opportunity of that. Did you know to make a tumbling block, all you need is an option 1? This with 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. You don't need diamonds, you don't need Y seams, you don't need set in points. Option 1 will do your tumbling blocks, and that's one of the patterns in the reference book. So go in there and watch your option overview. It goes from 1 to 17, and you'll learn all the tips and hints about them. And we also have we talk about making a little notebook to where each page has an option on it, and you go through and make the notebook, and it really does help you learn the system and gets you adjusted to it so that you can learn the system. You'll learn a little bit about color and placement before you dive into a quilt, and it will just help you feel more confident. And that's what we want to do, is we want to set you up for success. And that's what the Square in a Square system does. Okay, we're going to start looking at some quilts. Do we have any questions before we go? Okay. All right, so a lot of these beginning quilts here that I'm going to show you build off of what I've shown you here. We're going to keep referring to option 1, square in a square, option 3, flying geese, option 4, half square triangles, because now that you know how easy it is to cut those shapes, then when you look at them in the quilts, you're going to look at that quilt with a different eye and a different appreciation, and you're going to feel more confident, and you're going to say, yeah, I can make that quilt. I know how to do that. And if I run into a trouble, where's that hotline number? My teacher is right there to help me. And what I love about the quilt text hotline number, it just kind of gives me chills even as I say it, is that I can make a video and send it to you. They have to be short, so you may get 2 or 3 or 4 to get everything accomplished in there. In that format, we have to keep them really short. But you can take a picture and take a video and say, this is what I'm struggling with, or this is what I'm trying to do, or I've been working on this and I just can't quite get that perfection that I want. What am I doing? Where do I need help? But I will also tell you that most anything I'm going to tell you is already in a video at squareandasquare.net. So sometimes I might refer you to a video. There's videos that are called troubleshooting. There are videos that are called overcutting. There are pressing videos. There's all kinds of videos already in there to help you get going. And so that's why I said, learn that website, project it up on the TV, and just have those videos playing. There's literally, I'm going to say, thousands of hours in there. So make sure you take notes so that if you want to go back to that video, then it'll be easier for you to find that video. Okay? All right. So we're going to get started here with this beautiful quilt right here. The original quilt for this one was called Grizzly Mountain, and you can see a picture of it on the website if you look up Grizzly Mountain. So make sure you've got a pencil and paper and you're taking notes. And this uses the half square triangles here. There's 3 of them, and here. And I love how this is the block right here, kind of like a bear paw, like a grizzly. It's kind of a cross between a bear paw and a delectable mountain. So that's how it got the name Grizzly Mountain. But look how we've done the sashing of the block and the connecting inside of the block. And you get all these beautiful stars just scattered throughout the quilt. And it's kind of like the stars become the beauty of the quilt, and the Grizzly Mountain block is kind of secondary when it's really the main thing of the quilt. And so this one is called Grizzly Mountain. We've got blue check, we've got the blue eagle vine, and we have our tattered and torn as a background. Now, some of our quilts, our background is that flag tone-on-tone white, and we haven't had any of that for a long time, but I always, for those of you that are new to me and my fabric, I always keep fabric back so that when someone is working on a quilt and it's been 2 or 3 years or even 10 years, and for some reason they need another little bit of fabric for whatever, then we can help them with that. I help people all the time with, yes, here's a half a yard of this or 2 yards of that. That is basically been gone, but I've had it in the back storage area. So I say that to say that I have some of the cream flag, tone on tone, that I'm going to be releasing when I make some of these kits. Now, some of these kits we've already sold through the fabric, and we haven't had them on the website for sale because I don't like to make substitutions. I like for you to look at the quilt and know that's exactly what you're getting. But some of these, and I'll tell you, we may have a substitution in them, like this one here does have the cream flag tone on tone in it, and even though it's been gone, I'm going to go into my reserve to make the kits for them. Okay? All right, so this one is Eagle Mountain. And look how if you can purchase a kit just like this, or you can get a bundle, get that fabric that's on sale, and then go in and make your design, or pull something else from your stash to add to it, or look at the other fabric we have in inventory and add something to it. Those bundles are made so that you should be able to go in here and make a lot of these quilts. And some of them, like I said, we don't have kits for anymore. There's too many substitutions or whatever, but you could pull from those bundles and make them and just be absolutely beautiful. So this one is called Eagle Mountain. Now, and it is an individual pattern, so it's not in any of the books. Eagle, did I call that Eagle Mountain? The pattern is Grizzly Mountain, but I think we called the kit Eagle Mountain because it had the eagle in it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can look up Eagle Mountain. We do have a couple of kits for it on the website, or if you just want to look at it and get more information. And remember, if it's got that black line underneath it, if you are looking at it, then there's a link. You can just click, and there's a link there for you. Okay, so let's move down here on this one, and let's let them look at this one. That one is called Rolling Star. And you can see the red, white, and blue eagle flag that we have fussy cut and put into the design. You can see the background is that flag, which I said I'm going to release some of that if you order the kit. We have this red flag here is gone, this one here, so it will be a substitute for it. And of course our red and black check will be our red and black diamond dot. And this is an option 1 here where the points are of the star, and then this corner section right here, this is an option 11, and you actually get all 4 of those units out of one option 11, so it moves along really quickly. And this one is called Rolling Star. Okay, let's move our camera down over here to our revolving star. So this is a traditional carpenter's wheel, and it's put on point, and the little corner units give this running pattern going through the quilt. There are 97 pieces in a 12-inch block on that particular one, and if you want to zoom in on one of those blocks so they can see. So we've got little 4-patch, bigger 4-patch, we've got flying geese, we have an option 1, we have half square triangles, and that's it. So option 1, you saw how to do that. Option 3, you saw how to do that. Option 4, half square triangles. So what we taught over here when I was cutting the square and a square is everything that you need to make revolving star. We can do kits for that one. The only substitution in the revolving star would be right here for the border where the red check is, and we will use the red and black diamond dot. Now sometimes, especially quilts that are from the reference book, we will make those quilts over and over and over again as different fabric lines come out to showcase the fabric. And so when we make that sample for that quilt, if the blocks are just repeated, we don't always go in and make, you know, 12 blocks or 20 blocks or 15 blocks. Like this one, I think we just did a 3x3 or a 3x4, when the one in the book is a little bit bigger. So the kits are always made to match the pattern in the book, okay? And if they're not, then it's noted. And of course, if you have any questions about any of that, then you can give us a holler on our email. Okay, revolving star, it's in the reference book. We do have kits for it with the flag tone-on-tone cream, the black flag, the red eagle vine, and then the red and black diamond dot. Now think about if you got some of those bundles that we have, think about how you could make each star maybe a different color, or make 3 or 4 of one color and 3 or 4 of another. You can do some great things with those bundles and that particular one. Let's look over here at Dragonfly. And some of ours are, you know, the quilts are on top of other quilts, and so it's kind of hard to know where that quilt stops. But this Dragonfly quilt goes from red eagle flag to red eagle flag. Notice how we cut this one so that this works on the inside like it's another border or another set of piecing or fabric. This one is called Dragonfly Lagoon. We've used our half square triangles, we've used our flying geese. This is our new little dragonfly option. That's like our option like 47 or something like that. Those bigger numbers, I don't always know exactly that. But I love how the dragonflies are just kind of circling around over the water, over the lagoon like dragonflies do. And we do have kits for this one, but you can also get in there and make it with one of those bundles. And you can see in this one how we've added the red and the blue check, and I really think it adds another great combination to the fabric, to the texture of the fabric. And that one is in our Batwings book. If you bring the camera down over here, Steve, what you want it here, then they can look at that Batwing book for just a moment. And that's one of our new books, and it's got some of the new options. It has the dragonfly, the butterfly, and the bat wings, and that is where you will find those newer options. They're in that particular book. And I think that one has, I don't remember how many, and it's got the charts and everything in it. I don't remember how many quilts are in it, but I'm going to say 6 or 8 or so. Let's flip through it real quick. I know the dragonfly is in the back, so here's your dragonfly, and then we have that, I think that one was called Matilda or Penelope. There was 2. That one's Penelope the dragonfly. And then we also have Matilda the dragonfly, so 2 sister blocks. That one right there is really pretty. This would be pretty made out of the bundle, out of these bundles. And, oh, this one of, this one's called Prairie something, Prairie Butterfly, because we've used the butterfly option. Butterfly Star. This one is really a pretty block here. That one's called Rick Rack. This one, I have kits for this one. This one is, and that would be really pretty made out of the Patriotic fabric also. You don't have to do it in the winter solstice. We've got some little stars, some table runners. And it's got your charts for those new options and gives you all the details you need for that.
I have a question on that.
Okay, question.
This is from Facebook.
Facebook says, can you buy a digital version of the Batwing book? I don't think you can you, Steve?
If you're international,
If you're in, okay.
we could maybe do it. It's a very large file.
Yeah, the thing
'cause
about
it's a beautiful colored book.
yeah, the thing about the books is that they're huge files and there's lots of vibrant colors in them. If you're international and don't want to do the shipping, we get that. Steve can set that up for you, but it's a lot of printing and a lot of ink. So
Yeah, just to print it out.
yeah,
If you print good quality, it's going to be.
yeah, but we can do that if you want. Just email us if you're interested in that. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. Now, in the beginning of quilts,
She's from the UK. So.
okay. From the beginning of the quilts, I usually keep them just as quilt tops because they're easier to store, they don't take up as much room, and when I'm doing a trunk show or lecture like this, I can get them up behind me. If they're quilted, then they're harder to work with, they're heavier, and I can't get very many up there. So I really pretty much leave them as tops until I'm ready to retire them and move them from teaching to enjoyment in my home. Now this one here is one of our brand new ones. I don't think we've shown it anywhere before. The pattern is in our reference book, and thought I had a little kit page up here for it. Anyway, the pattern is in our reference book and it's called Desert Star, and this one we call American Star. American Star. We've got another one that's America coming up, so don't get them confused. We've used 3 different fabrics and we've used 4-yard pieces for it, I think. I think the kit actually has 5 yards of the dark in the blue and in the red, and that's like binding and that kind of stuff. I think you can pretty much do it with a 4-yard piece from those bundles, but think, you know, about those bundles and just a light, medium, dark, good contrast, and you make this. You can even make, just like we've made the stars, red stars and then blue stars, you can also alternate them with using different fabrics if you want. And then this is the We the People text on it. Now, I didn't show you how to do a diamond. Let's come over here and look at a diamond. Okay, so we have learned how you can have a square in the middle and how you can put your strips around it, trim leaving a 4th, and trim sharp and get all of the first 17 units that deal with the square. So take what you've learned and let's bring it over to the diamond in the middle. And let's see how easy it is. Now the diamond, this one here is, that one's a different one. Okay, so in the quilt that you would make with our colors, see how we have the diamond in the middle and we have red on 2 sides and we have blue on 2 sides. And when we trim it up, it will be a whole shape similar to this. And let's look up here at the quilt. Look how this just goes in like this. And then you have what I'm going to call the smaller square that fits the smaller end and the larger square that fits the larger side. And that's all there is to this quilt. Now let me also tell you, this is all you need to learn to do a storm at sea. A storm at sea is this same setup. You're going to have the diamond shape horizontal, and you're going to have it vertical. And then you're going to put like an option 1 in here, and you're going to do like an option 2 in here. And that, believe it or not, is your storm at sea. And there, with this basic setup, there are so many different quilts, and you can go into that teachingwebsite.net. We've got a lot of different trunk shows that we've done where we've shown different quilts based off of this and the storm at sea and how easy they are to do. So let's look at, so here's your color sequence here. Same color on this end, and then a different color, but same on this end, and we're going to use our same ruler, and we're going to come in here and trim it up. So here's the 60, this is a 60, see those lines match up with that seam, and you just push the 60 in there like we did before, leave the 1/4 of an inch, see the lines, see the grid line going through the middle, make your cut. Flip it and do the opposite end, which is also a 60. Make sure it's staying square. And then on the sides, we want a 1/4 of an inch. So basically this is just like an option 1. We're leaving a 1/4 of an inch on all 4 corners. So here's the 120, and see that 1/4 of an inch? And this is how easy it is to make your diamond shape to go in your quilt, just like that. Leave the 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Now the other shape in the quilt, I don't know if you can see the corners. Let me see here. Let me bring this up a little bit. Okay, can you see down here in the corner? You can see this shape right here, and it's your diamond cut in half. And it gets what we call the Canadian geese. So if you wanted like an individual star, you didn't want it to connect, then you would use your option 18, which is like your flying geese. So think about our flying geese and how we trimmed those 2 corners different. So let's look at our block over here, and then let's look at our ruler. So our ruler had the 120 with the 4th that you saw me use to do this one with the 4th, to do this one with the 1/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. Now to cut it in half, so think about what we learned with our flying geese. We had to trim these corners different because we were going to cut through here. We're going to cut, we're going to create a seam, we have to move points. So the little magic amount that you need right here is 1/8 of an inch. So see, this one's already trimmed. It's not a 4th, it's 1/8. So when you go to your ruler, you have a 120 with a 4th, but you also have a 120 with 1/8. And that's what you need, is the 120 with the 1/8. Make your cut, and then you're going to come in here and cut them in half, and you're going to have your individual pieces. So if you want an individual star and they're not connecting, there you go. And that's basically, that's the diamond book is what teaches you all of that. I thought I had a diamond book over here, but I'm not seeing it. Here, I have one, Steve. Thank you. So here is the Diamonds by the Square book. It's our reference book, book 2, and it's going to go in with all the diamond shapes. So in the beginning, you have your diamond shapes up to option 39. So here's all your shapes. And then you have lots and lots of charts. Look at all of these charts. And this basic little star right here, you can see it here in the corner. So think about this little star being 2 inches and then going on up to the bigger ones. Think about when you put something different in the corner and something different in the middle, you get all these different looks. So look how your see how your points go out to make the star, plain corner, plain center. And then what if you put half square triangles in the corner? What if you put a 4 patch in the corner? What if you did an option 11, an option 14? And then so it shows with all these different corners and centers. But the other thing it shows, which is pretty amazing, is see how the points go out and you get 8-pointed star. All you have to do is flip them and you have a 4-pointed star. So then in your book, it's going to give you what it looks like with changing the corners, changing the centers, you know, all of, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 10, 20, 30, 40. So you have 40 just on this block size, which is a 9-inch block. So you have 40 different choices of what you want it to look like for that size. So each size it'll tell you here at the top, it'll give you all of your measurements and information, and then it will show you the different ones that we'll make in that size. So pretty cool. And that's the diamonds by the square. And something else that I like to point out to people is that we do have a combo special. So say you get to pick a ruler and a reference book. So you could do like book 1 reference and original ruler. And then you could do the diamond book reference and a different ruler. And then you can get those on special and have 4 different items. So they can choose the ruler to go with the book,
Yeah,
right?
Just 2 different products. But
Yeah, and you can choose. So anyway, obviously if you need any help with that, just email and Mr. Steve will help you get what you want and get you the best price that we have. Okay, so this one here is the American Star. The pattern is in the reference book. Our sample we made smaller. Our sample is 74 by 74, but the pattern in the book is larger, and your fabrics are for that larger size if you order the kit, okay? Okay, let's move over here and look at this one. One of our books that we have is called the Maley Women Pattern Book. And the Maley Women Pattern Book has, we just got a new shipment in stock, and it has over 30, I think it has 34 quilts in it. And this basket one is one of them. We don't have this one kitted because we don't have any of this red fabric, the red flag. But think about if you got one of those bundles, how easy it would be to put the different fabrics together to make a beautiful quilt. The thing that is consistent in this quilt, and I think that when you're using multiple fabrics, you need to pick out something in the quilt that stays consistent. I think that's the thing that makes a scrap quilt or a multi-fabric quilt beautiful and not chaotic, is keep something consistent in the quilt. And this one we kept the backgrounds consistent and then just used different colors for the different blocks that are in there. And this one is called Abby's Basket, and
I'm going to zoom in.
And it is in the Maley Women Pattern Book. There is not a kit, but one of the bundles. Pick one of the bundles you like, and you can make it with that. And once again, our sample has like 9 blocks in it, but the actual quilt, I think, has 12 blocks in it. So we want to give you lots of different ideas of how to use the fabrics and how really you can pick any design and use your patriotic fabrics or your fall fabrics or whatever and turn that quilt into something that has a little bit of a theme to it, I guess. Let's look at this one down here on the end. That one is the pineapple. And the thing on this, the pineapple is option 12. You can see how we start out with our square in the middle. We sew strips around it 1 time. We sew strips around it 2 times. Then we keep the strips the same width, and we just keep sewing around, and you start to get 8 sides instead of 4, and it turns into the pineapple. And then the thing that's a little bit different about the way that we set these together, instead of putting pineapple, 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 we did just a little tiny sashing and a little cornerstone, and you get this wonderful kind of churn dash reaction in the red and in the blue, and it just makes the pineapple quilt just a little bit different. And also, if you struggle with trying to match up all of these points to each block as you go around, putting that little bit of sashing in there helps remove that and worry, and so you don't have to worry about it. So this one we can kit, or you can use a bundle to make it. Actually, a bundle would be really great to make it. If we do kit it for you, then of course your red check is going to be your black, your red and black diamond dot. And a lot of these quilts we have taught in Premium Club or in our Quilts Club. And so if you wanted to join any of those, then then you can have the visual teachings. Some of them are in just the webinar teachings. And so if you want to know if there's a video of the quilt and the teaching of how to make it, just email us and we can help you find it. If you're, of course, if you're Premium Club or Quilt Club, then you can go in and look through all of the classes that are in those two different modules and see what's in there. This one is our Liz's Gift, and this is another quilt that is in the Melee Women book. And we added this star here in the middle. This was the very first quilt we taught this semester in our Premium Club, and we had lots of, I try to teach a lot of creativity to show you how you do this and how to do that and turn this and look at the look you get and take that away and add that. We give you lots of different creative ideas and opportunities when we teach a quilt. Now this one we had in 3 kits. We had kit A, B, and C. And this one was kit A, and it's all gone because of this red flag here. We don't have any more of it. But we have kit B and kit C. So if you go to, I can move this, Steve, wherever we need it. I'll keep it still so that you can zoom in on it. So this is I think this is kit C, the one that we did with the darks, and it is just exquisite. I love it, love it, love it in this combo of colors. We've used the black flag tone on tone. We've used the black text, and then we've used the tan text with the black words on it, and just a stunning, stunning quilt. And I can't get over how, I'm going to say floral or lacy it looks on the text print used in the border like this.
Let me go in tighter to the border.
And then the quilting on it is just really, really pretty.
Are those words or what are they?
Yeah, that's the text. Those are words.
Wow. Oh, it's the black.
It's We the People, so it's a document from 1776, We the People. All right. Anybody got any questions? So Liz's Gift in the Melee Women pattern book, we have kits B and C. Kit A is like the one I'm holding, and those are gone. I would like to have that black one. I just think that one's gorgeous. Okay, let's look at this one right here. This one is called Peace Through Strength. And I love how we've put the little stars in the corner for our border. And then the climbing geese, it's just a flying geese with a square on the side. And so you alternate that square, left, right, left, right. And if you're in Quilt Club, we did a class on the climbing geese. Really simple and easy to do. We've got some tricks in there for you. And notice how we just did it in this corner, and then of course we did it in the top opposite corner. And you don't always have to have a totally pieced border. You can just do a little bit in the corners. And I'm looking at it here in the monitor because the monitor and the pixels and everything just really make everything come together really cool. And so you get a really good look at it in the monitor. And it's such a pretty quilt. We're very limited on kits for this. This one was an advertisement that we did about 2 weeks ago, and then I showed Premium Club it the other day and told them if they want it, they better get it. It's got this red flag in it, and so even our checks are limited, so very limited. And then we've used the tan text on the back.
I have a question.
And I'm normally not a light back person, but I love the text on the back. Okay, question. Nancy says, good morning. Are all of the fabrics your own designs and bought only through your website? Yes. I have done about 20 different lines of fabric. probably 25 years ago, I worked with different fabric companies, but probably for 10, 12 years now, I've done all of it myself. So I don't go through a big fabric house. Quilt stores can get it, but I don't market it to them. So generally, they don't have it, only if they keep up with me and know it and all of that. And there's not a quilt market anymore to go to, so shops don't get to see stuff like that through the quilt markets. So, and I don't have reps on the road. All the big fabric houses have reps on the road. So everything I do, I have my own warehouse, we have our own shipping, we have our own cutting machines and all of that. And the thing that I love about, and there's a lot of people on here watching that have bought my fabric for years and years and years, and they can testify the quality of the fabric. A lot of them don't even buy anything else anymore, how stable the colors are, and basically you're working with a real human. You're not working with someone who is there today and gone tomorrow. And the other thing is that we like to kit our stuff up, and therefore we can have that kit for a longer period of time. It's not like, oops, you should have ordered more fabric because those kits are now gone, you know, because we get, like our last fabric order had 3 tons of fabric on it. And when we get our order of our new fabric, every time we have a new collection of fabric, we have a promotion on it to where you can get it at a discounted price. And that's always the best time to get your fabric, is during that promotion. Other times we'll have just a random special here or there, or we might have a bundle like we're doing today. We have the different Patriotic bundles, and those are the best times to get them. So any other questions, Steve? Did you have another question?
Let's see. Oh, yeah. No, I have it. I'm going to give links to people that ask for specific patterns.
Okay, Steve's going to give links to different things. This is an individual standalone pattern. It's not in any book. And when we make this quilt, we do all option ones. We don't do flying geese. We do option 1, plain square, option 1, plain square, and so on. And then here, same thing. Plain square, option 1, plain square, option 1. So this is really fast and easy to do. There's no reason to have a seam right here and have 2 flying geese. Remember, every time you have a seam, you have 3 human elements. You have a cutting, a sewing, and a pressing. And in that human element is where you can lose perfection, lose points, and all of that. That's one reason why the quilts always look so pristine and nice sharp points and smooth flat work, is because we remove all of those human elements. So let's say this is an option 1. Let's say there's 50 of them in the quilt. I don't know how many.
You're a counter.
There's more than 50 in the quilt. And so if each one of these represent 3 human elements, 3 times 50 is 150. That means we have removed, in the way that we've designed the pattern, 150 opportunities to basically mess it up, to lose points, mess with your sizing, things not laying flat and smooth, too many seams, too much thickness, all of that. It just helps smooth all of that out. Piece through strength.
And Piece Through Strength is an individual pattern on the website.
Piece Through Strength is an individual pattern through the website, yes.
And I'll put a link.
Okay. Really love this quilt. So when we first make the quilts, I call them working quilts because they stay in my teaching area, they stay in the filming area. I don't get to bring them to the house and enjoy them and use them. And so, and as long as we have kits or I'm teaching something off of that quilt, then it stays in a work mode. I always say it's a working item. And so I'm always anxious when I'm done so that I can bring them to the house and enjoy them. Okay, so Rhonda, hi Rhonda, says, isn't that constellation star? Yes, it is. Comes with ruler. Been a long time ago, maybe remembering incorrectly. No, Rhonda, you remember correctly. Rhonda was one of our certified instructors, And this one is constellation. Constellation is when we just have a few stars. So I think it's like 3 or 4 stars and 3 or 4 rows, so it's a smaller. And that pattern comes in with your original ruler. I'm thinking that these are a little bit bigger than the constellation, but actually the look of it and the units that you use are the same.
I have another question.
Okay, another question. Renee says, how's your foot doing? I'm doing great, Renee. Thank you for asking. To make it quick for people that don't know, I had a knife slide off of the cabinet last August and it fell straight down and went through my foot, cutting tendons. And I had to spend months in a boot with no weight, couldn't stand, couldn't walk, couldn't do any of that. Had to have surgery to reattach everything. So it was August to December in a boot. And then I was out. I lost so much muscle. I'm still trying to, my back has been hurting for a week, and I know it's because my muscles are not what they used to be in my back because I lost so much for those months I was down. So I'm working on getting my strength back in all of my lower body, back and hips and legs and feet. There are a few things I can't do that I could do, but I'm working on getting my strength back so I can. But the weird thing is that I had internal stitches, and those internal stitches were supposed to dissolve, and I had a stitch that didn't, and for about 6 weeks it started working its way out of my foot, and it kind of made like a mosquito bite type bump in the incision, the scar, and then this volcano erupted and this stitch was in it, and I actually had to go back to the doctor this week, get the stitch removed. I've got a bandage on it for 3 or 4 days and I can't get it wet, so I've had a little bit of a half of a step backwards, but thank you for asking. I'm doing great, and hopefully now that this stitch is out of my life, literally, I'm can work on getting 100% back.
Are you
So,
hopping?
am I hopping?
Seems like you're hopping.
Kind of hopping around. I could be a little bit because that I'm still working with that removal of that stitch, and there are legs from my frames that are down here, and I don't want to trip over those legs down there.
Everything would come down.
Yeah, everything would come down. Okay, so we've got a little bit of information to give you about these quilts. So let's start over here with this one. This one here is called Watershed. It is a double Storm at Sea. We did this for Quilt Club last fall. It was what we considered our big quilt, and I think we taught it in like 8 classes, probably each class, probably close to 2 hours. So you've got a lot of teaching on that one in Quilt Club. And we also did this one in Patriotic. So you can order it in the Patriotic fabrics, and I think you can see those on the website. If you have any questions about that, I can show you more on the Patriotic one. Just quilt text me on that hotline. But in this wave of colors that you see, I actually have, I think, 2 kits left on it, and they are on the website, and it's called Watershed. And so you can order it in this color combo, or you can get it in the Patriotic one. And this one is Watershed. And I think the quilt is probably about, it's in between 60 by 60. It's not bigger than 70, I don't think, on that one. And really an amazing quilt. It looks so complicated, but everybody, when we were doing the teaching of it, everybody was just like, wow, 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 I can't believe that you can get that quilt in the way that we're doing it. Okay, so let's go over here and look at this one. This one is a Roman sword. We've used 3 different fabrics for it. I think each one of the fabrics are 4 yards. And this is one that we're going to be teaching in May. And we do have kits for it. It's one of our brand new ones. It's kind of like a Hunter Star or a Lemoyne Star. Everybody has always asked for that pattern. We've shown it over the years how to like use your charts and make it, but we've never had a pattern for it until now. And we'll be teaching this one live in May. And if you want kits for it, you can get it just like this, or you can choose other fabrics for it. We've had a few people choose other fabrics. I'm anxious to see the fall one. One lady chose some of the oranges and tones, and I think that one's going to be really pretty. But I think it would be really pretty out of the Patriotic. Use your light for your background, and then you use 2 of your other colors in here. Use like your eagle vine for where the floral is, and then use like one of the other, I can't remember now, one of the other ones in there for the other, and then your background. And this one is called Roman Sword. And in class, I'm going to tell you why I called it Roman Sword. Okay, the next one you see up here is called Americana, just plain Americana. I've had this pattern for 20 years. I have probably made 20 quilts off of it. The pattern comes with the star, a 3-inch all the way up to a 12-inch size. This is the 6-inch star. And we're going to be having a new one out of some of our diamond dots later in the year. This one was made from our railroad fabric. Did you activate that kit on the website?
I don't remember.
Okay. The railroad fabric, some of these are gone. So we don't have it on there as a kit if you're wanting the railroad one, but I can probably make you a kit like this if you wanted to. I think we have enough pieces that we can do it. We don't have like big amounts of yardage anymore to do it. No, it's not. It's just Railroad Americana.
It's not in here.
It's not on the website?
No.
Well, that's because there's really not any kits. If you want this one in railroad fabric, just email us or go to the Quilt Text hotline and say that you want that in like we showed today, and I can probably make 1, maybe 2. And then that way, if I do have a substitute somewhere, then I can work directly with you and you know what you're getting and you get to okay it. I don't ever want to just send something and you not know what you're getting. I don't want you to have that surprise. I want to make your picking out of your fabric and any changes or substitutions that we do. It would be just like us working together in a quilt shop. I want you to feel confident about what you're getting and how it's going to look and everything. So this one is Americana. It's an individual pattern that stands alone. And oh gosh, there's probably been thousands of this quilt made for wounded warriors and quilts of valor. It's just so quick and easy with our flying geese and then just a strata of strips. And like I said, this one was the 6-inch star out of the railroad fabric. And there are still some railroad fabrics on the website, but there's different ones that are sold out and gone. And so since I'm showing you this Americana with the 6-inch star, I want to show you, we've already looked, let me take 2 down and I'll let you see another one. And that Americana one, I've had it just as a quilt top for a long, long time. It just got quilted and the binding on it, so I wanted you to see it. So on this one right here, I can do maybe 2 more kits on Watershed, and then I can do a couple in the Patriotic, but this one's about in the complete extinction.
Had several comments on the Watershed.
Yes, Watershed is beautiful. It looks so hard, but it is not. And I'm sure there's plenty of you on the website that have already worked on yours and have them done and can testify to that. So I wanted to get down to this one. because this one is just a scrappy quilt. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorites. And it's the same as the Americana Railroad that I was showing you. This is the 3-inch star with the strata of strips. And this one I think I worked on for like 18 months. Every time I would work on a project and I had leftover fabrics, I would cut them into, I have a drink here, thank you, hon. I would cut them into the pieces that I needed and work on just little parts at a time. And I wanted it big to go on one of my beds. And so it's not a California king, but it's a big king size one. And I just really, really love it. I love scrappy. And when you do scrappy and you have multiples like this, just keep your colors very distinct, light, medium, dark. And then your design will pop out. And this one was what, I think I did it back in like 2018 and 2019 on like Facebook. And it was in groups that I called In My Sewing Room. And it was just when I was just sewing in my sewing room, and I'd invite you guys to come in and you could just see what I was working on. It wasn't like all planned and organized and, you know, fast, bam, 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 like a 30-minute cooking show. It was just as I was doing it, and that was in my sewing room. And then this one over here, I just got it back quilted. Let's see, Jenny, my good friend Jenny that worked for me for many, many years, and then they bought a ranch and we moved, and so when she goes back and forth from the metro to the ranch, we're kind of in the middle and we get to keep our friendship going. But she has a long arm, and she quilted my Americana for me, and it's beautiful. And then my good friend Kay has a long arm in Tennessee, and she does some quilting for me. And I just got my God Bless America back, and we have a few kits left for it. It is part of our premium club, and Kay did a beautiful job quilting it and doing the binding and the flange and everything. And I so appreciate that. It's one of my favorite quilts. And I love using the eagle flag for the borders. And of course, red's my favorite color, so most of the time I use a red. But the blue and the white are just really, really pretty. That looks really nice. Okay, we're just going to keep uncovering.
You got a bunch on there.
Oh, and I used the white eagle flag on the back of this one. So let me kind of smooth it out so you can see what those eagle flags look like when you have it on the back. I think they make such a beautiful back. I just love it. I just really love putting the eagle flag on the back. And it's kind of creamy. I say white just because, you know, red, white, and blue, but it's kind of a creamy. We have a certain color of tan and dirt that we work with when we do our fabrics. And so you know that our fabrics are always going to go together. Past collections blend with new collections. Okay. Now this one here is called Moonlight, and we did, I think you can go to Facebook, YouTube, of course you can go to squareandasquare.net, and we did this in 3 classes. Each class was 2 hours, and we did that, let's see, this is, I think December of 24 we did it, and in these colors. And I have a couple of kits left in these beautiful fall golden colors. And then we also taught it in a webinar, and we used the Patriotic colors, and it was called We the People. So if you want to zoom down, we have like a picture of the block. And I think on the website you have a picture of all of the quilt. Do you?
I think so.
And we can do it in a queen king, and we can do it in a twin full. But because these fabrics are so limited, I can maybe do like 1, maybe like 2. I had one that I had to put together for a lady, and then she changed her mind, and I had to pull fabrics out of that for something else. So I think I can do 1 or 2 of these. Are they actually on the website, or do they have to email on this one?
I think so on the website.
Okay.
Oh.
So we've got flying geese, and 4-patch. So really pretty and easy to do. So you can see that the King Queen's approximately 98. The pattern is Moonlight Star. It's a separate purchase. Fabrics for that one, and then the twin full is about 70 by 84. I don't have any prices on here, but they're on the website. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so those of you that are Premium Club, on Monday, we're going to start our 7 Sisters. And it looks like an old Patriotic after we started getting it together. And so if you want to join Premium Club, we have over 20 semesters in there. Each semester has patterns and hundreds of hours of teaching. This one is quilted, and it's so big and heavy. I'm just going to leave it. Okay, so this one is 7 Sisters, and we will start this one on Monday. I don't think we have kits or anything for it yet on there, but I thought even though this is the black that I use is called a kettle black. Most all of my colors are mid to late 1800s, and a lot of those were the dyes that were made from all like vegetables and roots and stuff, and the dyes were very stable, and those are the colors that I use. So they couldn't make a black, but of course we know they had indigo, and they could make their indigo very, very deep, very dark. And so my black is actually an 1800 black called kettle black. So sometimes it looks kind of navy, and sometimes it looks kind of blue. So this is our kettle black, diamond dot black on black, the red and black, the tan and dirt, and then our maize. And these are all from our new fabric collection. Now, what I love about the 7 Sisters is just, we use that diamond shape, and it's just so simple to do. But you're going to get, of course, your main star here. Then you get a secondary big star here, and those go, as you know, as the quilt goes, those go down the middle, which I really like. And then you get another little red star going around in the center of your 7 Sisters. So this right here is like 7 blocks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and that's why it's called 7 Sisters. And that's that one. And that one we're going to start on Monday in our Premium Club. I really like the little hidden stars that are in there. Okay, we have 2 smaller ones down here on the table. Remember, our website is squareandsquare.com to order, and our teaching is squareandsquare.net. I think I'm just going to put them up here, Steve, so they can see all of them better. Okay, this first one is a new one you have not seen before. I think the kit is $71. It's 32 by 32. We've used option 3 flying geese, and we've used option 4 and some 9 patches, and it's going to go together really fast and easy for you. And it's kind of a begon surrounded pattern. We had one kind of similar to it in Quilt Club that I think we called Surrounded in Quilt Club. That was really pretty. And this one would be great if you wanted to make it just like this. You could get the kit, and that's the backing, binding, everything, if I'm reading all of this correctly. And it's $71, so that's really good that you can get all of that for that. We've got 9 patches and split rails. We've got half square triangles and a big flying goose and a long split rail. And then just 2 different borders, so really pretty on that. And then this next one is just 2 fabrics. It's the tan text of We the People. So this is the tan text of We the People, and the red Celebrate. And once again, we've got a split rail and then just that friendship star or the Milky Way star. I think a lot of people know it as a friendship star. I always knew it as a Milky Way star. So this one goes together really quick. Very limited on this one because
What's it called?
it's called Basket Weave Star. It's 42 by 42 and it's $89, and that's your pattern, your backing, your binding, your flange, everything on that. So those are two nice small ones. And I like to make quilts of this size to go like on my table. And it's just kind of table covers or across a footstool or something like that. I think having a smaller sizes like that are really nice. And then let's look at this snowball book. Let's bring your camera down. And this is the book that teaches option 41, the snowball. And the snowball is this block right here where you just have those little triangles in the corner. And every one of those blocks was that, and then we did some English paper piecing there of that little flower inside every other one. But with the Patriotic fabrics, do you want me to bring it over? So this is one that where I use the flags and use those as my center, and then did my snowball for those triangles in the corner, which come together like that. And I think that's really great. And once again, this is a great little size. It's one that I use on my table, like from May to Memorial Day to Labor Day. And in the corners, I fussy cut and put the little star from here, and it has that little star in the corners, which is really cool. And this is very Revolutionary War type look and design of architecture and things to have this type of thing in the corner.
I have a question.
Yes. So if you have any questions, get them in. Hi, Tammy, because that's pretty much all of the quilts. So we're going to wrap it up here in just a minute. Where's the pattern for the small ones? The small ones, the two here that I just showed, they are individual patterns. You can get the patterns individually or in the kit.
And give the names again.
Yes, this one is called Battlefield. This one's called Battlefield, 32 by 32 in size, and I'm not positive on the price, but I think it's $71, and it's everything, backing, binding, flange, pattern. And then this one over here is Basket Weave Star. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of information. We're basically done. So if you have any questions, get them in. There's a little bit of a delay. So let's remember our quilt text line is 817-713-2879. If you're asking me a question about your quilt and you need help with it, send me a picture. That will help. And I can make little videos and pictures and send them back. If you have questions about fabrics, or you saw a quilt you liked but you want to do it in different colors, that quilt text hotline is a great one, because I can put those fabrics together, show you what they'll look like, and we can go back and forth. I do that with people all the time. You may not live close to a quilt shop, you may not have a quilt shop, and I want to be able to offer you the same services as if you would walk into my store. So want to be there to help you choose your fabrics, fabric amounts, and then all the way to completion of your quilts. We are here to help. And Steve is great with the technology. He can help you figure out how to put your videos up on your TV. He help you navigate the .net teaching website. If you have questions about any of that, email him and go to our email, and then that way he can work back and forth with you on that. Jody@squareandsquare.com. And then remember, the squareandsquare.com is where you go to purchase fabrics and see the kits and the books and all of that. There may be a few videos on there, like with the Grande ruler or whatever, to help you so that you know what that tool does or whatever. And then, of course, the squareandsquare.net is the teaching website with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours in there to keep you motivated and to keep your knowledge sharp. And there's your .net. So did we have any last minute questions come in?
Did you show Prairie Willow?
Prairie Willow I did show. It was at the beginning. If I can reach it right here, I can show it again. Someone wanting to see?
No, just where the pattern is.
Oh, okay, Prairie Willow. Okay. Prairie Willow is a brand new one coming. The pattern is not done yet, and the fabric amounts are not done yet, but it's just, I think it's just the red Celebrate and the red text. I think it's these two. I think it's those two, and I don't.
It's on the website, and it says coming soon.
Okay, so there is a picture on the website with probably size, because we have the quilt done. We just
I don't think it has size. It just has a picture.
We don't have the pattern completed yet. And it's actually one that we're going to teach in Quilt Club. Okay, so let's look while we're seeing if any last minute questions are coming in. Let's put the camera down here and let's show the fabrics that are in the bundles that are on special. So we have the red, white, and blue of the eagle flags. We have the red, white, and blue of the eagle vines. And then the green flag, tone on tone, and then the blue. And this blue is really limited. We will substitute the blue tattered and torn, but we'll let you know about that if we do. And then these are some great pieces that go along with it. Your red check, your blue check, those are great to add to kind of mix in with your bundles. And then your red and black diamond dot is great also. And there's a bundle where you can get all 11, and then there's 3 bundles where we put different groups together.
And I sent the link again.
Okay, and he sent the link again. Okay, any other questions on anything? Any last minute questions coming in? Okay, remember, if you're watching this later, you didn't catch us live, remember, if you have questions, just go to the email or to the quilt text line and we can help you with that. And also on the website, if you put in the search bar, if you put what you're looking for in there, then it could help you find it. Remember to use one word if you can. The more words you put in there, the more it doesn't know what to do. Okay, is that it?
Yeah.
I think my voice says I'm done. So students, I'll see you on Monday, and we'll get started on our 7 sisters. And any of you that want to come and join us, we'd love to have you. You can go right to the website to sign up for Quilt Club or Premium Club. If you have any questions, just email us about any of that, and we'll see if you're a good match.